So today was a normal day for us, right?
Yeah, definitely. Well, we hadn't done laundry since we did the Mount Hood, or before that, so.
There was no adventures or anything today, so I did laundry. We got some good runs in. We obviously had made lunch, but I think the most important thing is you got all of our Alaska trip planning done.
Yeah, because Alaska, when I set out to, we thought we might be going there on the van, but we didn't know if the border would open, which it didn't. So we booked flights from Seattle to Fairbanks for $99 each way, so $198 round trip. But when I booked it, we were thinking of PackRafting Denali, which you take the bus in, the Denali bus in, and then you hike 13 miles, and then you pack raft, I think maybe 12 miles down the Sanctuary River, and then jump back on that same bus, or a different scheduled bus, and then go out of the park.
Wasn't the logistics an issue with wildlife area being closed because of them doing a animal kill, or they live in that location and that's their hunting season, so we can't go in?
Yeah, there's like units, and so unit 5, unit 6, we need to go through units, and you have to get a permit to actually stay overnight there. If you're just hiking through, you don't need a permit, but to stay overnight you do. So those unit 6 is still closed. You have to get a permit. You can apply for it early, but if you don't get the permit, you're not going. You need to reserve the bus, which is called the camper bus. The camper bus, you need to book it. You need to have a reservation at a campground. So, 3-4 months ago, whatever, I booked a reservation at a campground so I could get the bus to take us so we could do the hike if we got a permit through the National Park Service ranger.
And if the animals aren't killing and eating
right.
an animal.
If that unit is open. So those, and then we don't. You have to have a special bear food container, which we do not have. We'd have to purchase. And I knew this all going in, so this isn't like something that we didn't understand. It's just we don't have the proper sleeping bags, tents, which we knew again, so we'd have to get all those.
Well, and we're going to purchase all those. That really wasn't the issue. It's everything aligning and falling together with the animal area closure and the permits. So
yeah, so the bonus is I did sign up for a campground just for one night. So we are going to buy a tent. We are going to buy sleeping bags. We don't need a bear container because they have them at the campground. It's one that it's called Igloo Campground in Denali, and it only has 7 sites, and normally you can't reserve them, but during COVID you can. So I have one night booked. So
then things fell into place today because you took a majority of the day trying to reschedule and book Airbnbs and the car and all of that. So where are we going and where are we starting?
So the interesting thing, and you may never know, but I always check for better car rates, rental car rates. So I'm always checking. Well, the last month, 2 months, there's been no cars available in Fairbanks for the time that we're going. So that might be an indicator. The Kenai Peninsula was basically all booked out, and anything they had available for hotels was very expensive. But we weren't going to go to the Kenai. So anyway, we're going to Denali, doing that one night camping. Then from there we're heading to Anchorage. So yeah, I rescheduled everything because I always do cancelable reservations, even though some of them had flipped from to non-cancelable, but those okay, I kept those. We're going to go to Anchorage 2 nights, and then from there we are going to Portage. It's called Portage, Alaska. We're jumping on the Discovery train that takes you to the Spencer, right? Spencer Glacier. Mm-hmm. Spencer Glacier, you get off. We're going to bring the pack rafts with us in our luggage, and we will use the pack rafts to go out into the Iceberg Lake, I guess, where the glacier is. And then we will float down the river. And apparently there's only one section that's class 2, and it's just a wave train. And the other day we did a pretty big wave train, so I doubt it's any bigger than that one. But anyway, it's a class 2, so we should be no problem. And then that's where our rental car will be. So that'll work out really well.
Okay.
From there, then we're going to go to Copper Creek. I can't remember the last one. And then we're going to stay there 2 nights, and that's within an hour and a half of Valdez and Wrangell National Parks around there, so we can explore whatever. From there, we'll head back toward Fairbanks because we're going from it's like 10-day trip. We'll head back toward Fairbanks, and we will stay in, I think, Delta Junction in an Airbnb, which happens to be a bunch of cabins that somebody built and rent them out as Airbnbs. So apparently ours has a sauna, whatever. But so no, the trip came together, and we were able to make these bookings even with only a few, I don't know, a couple weeks or 10 days before we fly out. So.
Yeah. We're going to take our Alaska Whitewater book that we bought from Timmy, which is Truck House Life.
Yeah.
YouTube channel that we follow. We actually ordered this from him. So this is a huge book that has a description of all the whitewater rafting in Alaska that he put together. So we're going to focus on class 2 only, Timmy.
And well, the reason we have PackRafts is because we're watching Timmy's channel, and he's like an expert kayaker, and he was taking the PackRafts that we own down these pretty gnarly things.
Yeah.
We won't be doing that. But we ordered his book, and
this will be a
detailed.
good guide so we can figure out where else we can go pack rafting when we're in Alaska, hopefully. So.
But this is how the travel planning works, is like I create the shell, and I try and get all cancelable reservations, and then as things kind of fall into place, and sometimes it's more like my mind goes more to reality instead of like the dream world, but other times it's based on what we can get, what we can't get. Then I go ahead and change it. So now we're basically starting at Fairbanks, and we're doing a loop. I don't know the highway numbers, but basically a loop around back to Fairbanks. So through Anchorage and back around. And there's only limited roads in Alaska, so it should be a good trip. I'm excited. I'm glad we're not doing the pack rafting through Denali, to Denali, because it's a 13. We don't have the right backpacks, which we would have bought, all that, but it's 13 miles and then a 12 mile down to class 2, which I think we're okay, but after the other day, we're kind of like, we don't know if we want to be out in the middle of nowhere.
We need to be more prepared without jumping in like that in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, I think we'd be fine, especially if we had somebody guiding us, but we usually don't have guidance.
Well, and I called today to reserve another rafting trip in Alaska, and they don't have enough workers. Otherwise, we could have hired a guide to go with us down a whitewater river that we wanted to do, but we didn't want to do it ourselves without experience. And she said if it'd be any other year that she would have had somebody that could be our private guide, but she doesn't have hardly any workers, and she's booked with other rafting adventures. So
well, and one thing we love is the multiple modes of transportation, so I'm super excited to jump on a train in Alaska and go to the glacier location. I mean, that'll be great.
Yeah.
So we love that. And then being guided is great, but also not being guided is kind of fun too, especially when this is a well-known pack rafting location and kayaking or whatever. So
the cool thing is that I didn't know that this train existed in Alaska. And you can take one way, you can take it to many destinations and get off. And adventure groups in Alaska also use this train to do adventure trips as well. So
yeah.
It's great choice.
So anyway, I think we're all set, or we are all set. We fly out in about, I think, 10 days or 7 days or something like that. So
July 1st.
And basically when we come back, we are hitting Germany.
So that was our uneventful day on the van. We've been crazy with adventures, and it really kind of has been okay to not do anything. Besides, we actually got a good long runs in this morning.
And that's what we love about YouTube sharing, is we love these adventures anyway. We've done it. We've done tuk-tuk runs across India. We've done staying in tree houses in Laos, stuff like that. But it gets us a little bit more like, let's make this work, but I mean, we were Mount Hood. The pack rafting the other day was intense. I mean, so
nonstop,
Yeah,
but very
nonstop.
fun. We enjoy it.
Yeah.
So thanks for watching, and let us know if you have any questions about this Alaska trip that we have coming up. And we've been to Alaska many times before, and so we could maybe be a good resource for you guys.
And we never say it, but subscribe. You know, we want people to subscribe so we can share with more people. So please subscribe. We're getting more subscribers. It's going fast, but more the better.